What if I told you guys there was more to this tweet on the screen than you possibly knew? The New York Jets are on the wrong side of contract negotiations yet again. When was the last time they were on the wrong side of contract negotiations? Well, you guys may remember a very dominant running back from the Pittsburgh Steelers, a running back that looked like he was changing the entire position. Yeah, this running back, he went by the name of Le'Veon Bell. And while he was a major part of the Steelers offense, many teams were not so high on signing Bell to the contract that he wanted, simply because the contract was somewhat absurd. Bell is one of the highest paid running backs in the league, and when you look at the production he's had for the New York Jets, it hasn't exactly been what has been expected or warranted from his contract. Bell's last year with the Pittsburgh Steelers, you could see a little bit of a drop-off. He averaged 4 yards a carry, and he posted nearly 1,300 yards. Those numbers are still great for most running backs in the NFL, but his first season with the New York Jets, Bell averaged 3.2 yards per carry on almost 800 yards. Say what you want about the production, I still think Bell is absurdly talented. Have the New York Jets put Bell in the best positions to succeed? I'd have to say no. The situations in Pittsburgh and New York are entirely different. When you sign players to major deals, you have to make sure they fit your team in a multitude of ways. And one of those ways is schematically. The Jets have heavily struggled to produce offense, and their offense have led to heavier boxes for Le'Veon Bell. But hey, I saw the vision. Why not make life easier for a young quarterback? Go out and get a running back. Not any running back, one of the best in the league. A running back that can catch the ball and help move the chains in a variety of ways. Le'Veon Bell is exactly that. Do I think the New York Jet coaches have been great? No, but it does help to have a coach that endorses your running back. And it also goes a long way having premier talent at almost any position. So while I understand the Jets going out and getting Bell and how they have some buyer's remorse on the Bell contract, how could the Jets have possibly the best safety in the NFL and be refusing to pay him? It's not a schematic thing. This guy is already an all-pro. He's already one of the best. PFF says so. Just about every analytic shows Jamal Adams as a top player in this league. But the Jets simply aren't on the same page contract-wise as of right now. We've seen star players want bigger contracts before their contract is up. It's something that's all too common in the NFL, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. I understand it completely. If you're outplaying your contract, why not go out and get your worth? While some people, they see contracts as exactly that, a contractual obligation that you should fulfill. In the NFL, the amount of fully guaranteed contracts are all too small. It's a league where one play can change your entire career outlook. And I mean for better or for worse. The situations aren't near the same. But remember when Earl Thomas was undoubtedly one of the best safeties in the NFL, and he's still a very good safety, at least in my opinion. But when he was on the Seahawks and he was in a contract dispute, he wanted a longer contract, he wanted more money. The Seahawks, they weren't seeing eye to eye with him. And Earl Thomas, he decides to go back and play because, I mean, hey, he looks at his teammates as brothers, and he wants the team to be as good as possible. Earl Thomas would suffer a major injury, an injury that made him think about retiring, more so than perhaps he would have liked. An injury that could have completely altered his career for the worse. We remember the gesture, the pain, the painful look on Earl Thomas's face as he would be carted off of the field. A lot of times fans want a player to be loyal and play out their contract. But at the end of the day, the NFL is a business, and loyalty, it's great when it works both ways, but all too often, it's normally working for one side. Jamal Adams has formally requested to be traded. Now, what does that mean for the Jets going forward? We're going to get to that in just a second, but before we go any further, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, be sure to follow my Twitch. I stream 3 times a week on a schedule. You will not want to miss another stream. And that's facts. Jamal Adams has been fed up with his contract for quite some time now. He's a transcendent ascending talent. absolutely dominant when he's on the field. Some people view Adams as an in-the-box safety, and I understand that. Some people call him a linebacker, which I understand also. But to me, that doesn't take away from his true talent. I think he has the ability to do some of everything on the football field. I'm gonna spin off some stats for you guys, or some facts, whatever you would prefer. I found this from Twitter. Since 2018, among safeties, Jamal Adams is 24 years old. He's an all-pro, two-time Pro Bowler, most QB hits with 21, most sacks 10, most tackles for loss 19, second most forced fumbles with 5, sixth most passes defended at 19. So much for just an in-the-box safety. PFF has Jamal Adams as the second best safety in 2018, fourth best in 2019, and this talent is still ascending. Now, this Adams story is full of plot twists, so you'll want to stay glued. In a response to a comment on IG, Jamal Adams says, "I have time this morning. Do y'all just speak without understanding what y'all are typing or not? Oh, I see what it is. I deserve to be paid, but when I ask to be taken care of, I'm being that guy, huh? What does Pat have to do with me? Pat is about to get 40 to 60 M's a year. Well deserved. That's my guy. But don't compare me to QBs if you aren't paying me QB money. If I was about to get 40 plus, you wouldn't hear a damn word from me. For real, for real. Don't use the pandemic excuse. Christian McCaffrey got paid not too long ago. Well deserved. Great friend of mine. You're lost, my guy. I'm going to protect myself just like an organization will and look out for themselves at the end of the day. And if you don't respect that, cool. It's all love. Maybe it's time to move on." As of right now, Jamal Adams has released a list of teams he would like to be traded to. And right now, I want to know what you would be willing to give up to trade for Jamal Adams. Comment down below. Now, here is where the plot twist somewhat comes into play. The Jets have made some bad moves in the past, yes. You can call them an incompetent franchise. I am a glass half full type of guy. I see a franchise with potential. They have some good players. They have some nice talent. Now, the New York Jets, despite everything that's happened, they don't want to pull a Bill O'Brien and a DeAndre Hopkins. That could possibly be one of the worst things to happen for this franchise. Despite everything that's happened with Jamal Adams, the team has said he's in their plans and they want to do an extension. Adams has suggested a trade to one of these 7 teams: the Ravens, the Cowboys, the Texans, the Chiefs, the Eagles, the 49ers, and the Seahawks. What team do you guys think Adams would be most equipped to go to? Now, I know Jerry Jones for sure has interest in Adams, and he's been linked to the Cowboys before. Adams to the Cowboys makes a lot of sense because this is a team that has all of the talent on offense and is one of the best offenses in the league. And they're also a very talented defense, but they could get even better on the defensive side of the football. I know the Cowboys already have Haha, but the thing with Adams is you can play this guy virtually anywhere on the field. He's that easy of a plug-and-play player. The Eagles are also another very interesting team for Jamal Adams because they just lost Malcolm Jenkins, who was getting a little up there in age. But they lose Malcolm Jenkins and they bring in Darius Slay. This is a player who should help a revamped Eagles secondary that was not the best in 2019. Now, if you compare Jamal Adams with Darius Slay, and now you have the front 7 getting some pressure, you're looking at a team that is all too powerful. People easily forget this is an Eagles team that has been hit with many injuries, and it's a team that's not far removed from a Super Bowl. Now, when we talk about Jamal Adams to the Ravens, this is simply unfair. This Ravens team has so many big-time players. It has so much talent all over the field, both sides of the football. It's a young team. They got guys that are go-getters. They got guys that play their tail off. This Ravens team is simply ridiculous. Their roster, second to none. I think it's without a doubt the best roster in the league. You guys could feel free to prove me wrong in the comments. If the Ravens got Jamal Adams, it would just be so unfair and so ridiculous. But at the same time, I'd kind of be here for it. I like watching the Ravens play football. They're a very exciting team. And the last team I'd like to talk about is the 49ers. Imagine this defense with Jamal Adams. It would be simply unreal. As he said earlier, it's a defensive back's paradise to play with a team that gets that type of pressure and that can create that type of gaps. I've seen some people on Twitter saying the Jets don't want to pay Adams just this second because of the uncertainty of the cap. Now, I'm interested in knowing, do you guys think this is a good reason for the Jets not to want to pay one of the best safeties in the game? And is Jamal Adams in the right or is he in the wrong? Is there a right and wrong? Let me know down in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, notifications on. I'm Red Zone Coop, guys, keeping you entertained, and I'm out.